I've met folks that are struggling all the way up to some extremely wealthy people. And every single one of them, when you get around them, they will offer you anything they can to help you. It doesn't matter if they have much, they'll offer you what they can. The ones that have a lot, they're able to obviously offer more, and they will. And it's really great because you're not in there asking for a handout. You're in there asking how to grow your business, how to earn more business, and earn your own keep.
Welcome back to the Falls Home Front, where Wichita Falls leads in North Texas real estate, business, and life. I'm your host, Tim Lockhart, and today's episode is a discussion with a military veteran business owner who specializes in helping veterans finance home purchases. Mark Lusk is a mortgage loan officer with Pure Funding and the founding chairman of the board for the North Texas Veterans Business Council. He is a U.S. Army veteran and a former military police canine officer. Drawing on his diverse background in finance, security, and sales, Mark is dedicated to providing veteran entrepreneurs with resources and network needed to launch and grow successful businesses. Mark, welcome to the Falls Home Front.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate you bringing me on.
Yeah, great. How did your time as an Army canine officer and civilian police officer shape your lifelong dedication to service?
That's a good question. A lot of times with anything in the military or law enforcement, you learn to work with a team, you learn to be dedicated, you learn to have honor in what you do. So that all translates over to the nonprofit that I work with, the veterans and all that good stuff. They're still part of a team. You still work with everyone, make sure that everyone's taken care of. And the dedication is a big thing because you do have to be dedicated when you're working with nonprofits or even on the mortgage side. You have to be dedicated. It's long hours. It's a lot of tedious work. So you have to make sure that if you're not dedicated, you can get burnt out really quick. So you have to really love what you do.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, so what inspired you to transition from the military into finance and the mortgage industry?
So I was like a lot of other people when I got out of the military. I didn't really know what I was going to do. So I kind of went from a couple of different jobs and just seeing different things that went from I worked security for Lockheed Martin. I worked for a glass shop doing some manual labor stuff. And then I went to work in sales and sold cars for 7 years. And the sales is what really got me moved over to the finance side. It's just kind of natural progression. When you're selling, you move into finance. And then I really enjoyed it once I got over to the finance side because I got to work more closely and longer term with clients, especially veteran clients. So I get to help them make these large purchases. A home is probably the largest purchase most people ever make. It's a very special thing because this is where people are going to create memories. They're going to have their families live there, raise their children. So it really means a lot to me, especially a year down the road when I see someone, they still thank me for helping them get into that home that they're creating memories to.
Yeah, as we were talking before we started the recording, we found out that both of us had similar deployments to Baghdad. Even though I was in the Air Force and you're in the Army, so we were about a year apart in the same place. That's pretty interesting.
Oh yeah, lots of people went over there, and it's amazing. I'm around all the time, especially a large portion of my stuff is with veterans, whether it be on the nonprofit side or the mortgage side. And it's amazing how many people were in that same area that I was at in almost the same amount of time. It makes a very small world.
Yeah, can you tell us a little bit about this North Texas Veterans Business Council? How did it come about, and what was the motivation behind it?
Yeah, so it was a really great thing. I've been trying to find more ways to work with veterans in the community. I have people reach out to me all the time, and they're asking for ways that they can receive help. Some veterans need financial help, some need educational help, working with their VA benefits. And there's lots of nonprofits around town, and I've worked with a bunch of them, but I still kept finding about new ones all the time. And I said, if I'm this involved with veterans in the community and I don't know about all these organizations, how does anyone else know? So I wanted to start bringing all this together and make it a kind of a conglomerate And then I had another veteran business owner that reached out to me, and he talked to me about how he had seen a Veterans Business Council previously. So we decided that he and I got together. His name is Jonathan Galloway. He helped me. He and I got together and we created the North Texas Veteran Business Council. And that way we can bring in veteran owned businesses, get them resources, help them succeed as business owners. And we also brought in ally businesses. These ally businesses are businesses that are not owned by veterans, but they want to hire veterans, because not every veteran that gets out of the service wants to go straight into owning a business. They need places to go to work and be able to build a little bit of wealth and get some education if they need it. And so these local business owners, they absolutely love it. They're 100% in to be part of the organization and be able to help veterans get on their feet after the military.
Oh, that's great. What are some of the most common challenges that transitioning veterans face when they're launching a business after they serve?
And that's another good one. A lot of it is education. A lot of them don't have a business background. They don't know how to start a business. They don't know how to run a business properly. They may not know how to get their license. They may not know how to work their books to keep up with their finances. And it's really great because all these veteran-owned businesses, as well as the allied businesses, they're 100% on board to help these folks learn those things that they need to learn. We had one the other day, just wanted to come and join us for our meetings and just sit in and see what it's like and be able to talk with these other business owners, whether it be veteran or non-veteran, and to learn those exact things so he could learn how to start his own business.
Oh, that's great. When do you have your meetings?
So the regular meetings for the Veterans Business Council, we have them the first Tuesday of every month. We hold them at a local veteran-owned business here in town. It's Shep's Scoreboard. It's over at 202 Fort Worth Highway. We invite all people to come check it out. We do it at 9 a.m. People come in, hang out, get to meet each other, get to hear about what we're doing. It's great. Everybody can hear the new events coming up when we're having them, and they get to network. We network with other veteran-owned businesses as well as the allied businesses. You can ask questions, you can get leads, you can get resources. It's easy just to show up, come visit, come check it out. And then if you decide you want to become a member, we can help you become a member.
And that leads into the next thing that I was wanting to ask you about is the networking itself, that there's a big emphasis on that in the gatherings that you do. Something that a lot of people don't really know is like how to network, right? Especially coming from the military, it's not really a skill that we are taught. What's important about networking? Why should business owners want to network? And can you give us some tips on how to make that an effective time?
That's another really good point. Veterans transitioning out of the military, they don't have those skills most of the time. Most of the time they get out and they don't feel like they can talk to a lot of other people. And that's the great thing about the veteran business owners, because then they feel at home and they feel like they can open up and talk to these other veterans because they're veterans. And then having this as a group, you've got the non-veterans along with the veterans. Now they can see it's all right to talk to them as well because they are allies. They're here to help you out and help you succeed. So it does twofold. It allows them an opportunity in a place where they can talk to other veterans, and as well as seeing that other folks are okay talking to them as well. And it's one of the easiest ways to get free help. You pay for all these online seminars and things like that, and you go here and you get this information for free. And people are more than happy to tell you how to succeed in your own business. It's really great to watch.
Yeah, that's really powerful. Yeah, so it speaks to the community connection, right? And helping these veterans to be able to get connections that they might not otherwise be able to get.
Oh yeah, it's the people that I've met in the time that I've been doing this is unreal. I've met folks that are struggling all the way up to some extremely wealthy people. And every single one of them, when you get around them, they will offer you anything they can to help you. It doesn't matter if they have much, they'll offer you what they can. The ones that have a lot, they're able to obviously offer more, and they will. And it's really great because you're not in there asking for a handout. You're in there asking how to grow your business, how to earn more business, and earn your own keep. So that's the great thing about it. Nobody's in there asking for a handout.
Yeah, let's talk a little bit about the mortgage side of your business. What's the biggest misconception that you see that veterans currently have about the VA home loan and that process?
There's a couple of them. One of the biggest misconceptions I generally see is people understand that they can use a VA loan more than once. People think that you use it one time and that's it. That's the only time you get to use it. That's not true. You can use it as many times as you need to, as long as it's getting restored. If you're selling the house or you have remaining entitlement, things like that. Another one is going to be that veterans think that they need 20% down to buy, because that was what it was for so long. That was always what you heard. You need 20% down to buy a home. And veterans can get in for zero money down. There are closing costs, but actual down payment, that's zero, and you don't have mortgage insurance. So VA loan is an extremely good loan to get for veterans that have earned that right to get it. And it is a benefit from being a veteran. So it's very rarely do I ever see a program that is better than a VA loan. And they're not as difficult as everybody thinks they are. And a lot of that comes from the generations back where things were more difficult. So those stigmas got passed down, and now they're much easier than they used to be. The VA is meant to take care of the veteran, so they won't let the veteran get into trouble on deals if they can help it. So there are some things that you have to make sure you're doing right. But overall, it's the best loan there is in my mind.
Yeah, that's good. What trends have you been noticing lately in the mortgage industry?
So here lately, obviously, the rates have gone up a little bit again after things overseas have picked up. That creates an unstable market a little bit, but we're still, even with things that are going, we're still seeing things pick up. Things did slow down for quite a while. They're picking back up. We're seeing a lot more applications coming in again. We're seeing a lot of investment properties, so people are actually willing to get out there and purchase. So even though have ticked up just a little bit, it has slowed down a little bit, but it's picking up a lot more than what we expected it for the way the market is right now. So it's doing really well.
Oh, that's good. That's good to hear. Yeah, so something that I try to talk to veterans about is the long-term benefits of holding real estate. How do you help veterans to utilize their VA loans to build that long-term wealth?
And that part of that is, like I said, letting people understand that they can have a VA loan more than one time. One of the greatest things about building wealth is real estate. I tell people all the time, I don't know that you can find a billionaire anywhere in the world that doesn't have investments in real estate. And you can purchase real estate. And a lot of active duty, I know, have done this. They'll purchase in one area. If they PCS to another area, they keep it, turn it into a rental property, and they still have enough remaining entitlement to buy another home wherever they move to. So you're automatically getting an investment property. You're building wealth because you're building equity while someone else is making the payment for you. Another way to do it is buy a 1-to-4 property where you have a duplex or fourplex, and you have 3 renters in there in the fourplex, and they're paying your mortgage, and you're making some money on top of that. So you can still build some wealth by using your VA loan and using it properly. I never tell anybody to go out there using it specifically for investment property purposes, because that's not what a VA loan is for. A VA loan is to take care of you, but there are ways to do it properly and still build wealth.
Yeah, that's great advice. Yeah. One of the pillars of your mission is education. And so what specific tools and mentorship does your organization provide to help veteran businesses to scale?
So we are still fairly new, so we're still working on a lot of that. We are getting more and more resources. We've got folks from some of the congressman's office reaching out to us to help us build some of that. And then we've got connections with the local VSOs, things like that, as well as the local college. Local college is very big on helping veterans get into their education programs. So we've got a lot of assistance around here. And like I said, we are still in a building phase. So we're getting more and more resources all the time. And we're dedicated to make sure that we get those resources for these veterans as they transition out, or just as they move into the area. It doesn't have to be somebody brand new out of the military. It can be somebody that was out for 15 years. It doesn't matter. A veteran is somebody that we're going to help when they show up. And we're going to get them connected with all the resources we can get them connected with. And hopefully that resources tab continues to grow.
Yeah, that's great. Is there a piece of financial or business advice that you wish that every service member had received before they separate from the military?
Oh, sure. Yeah. It's like the best one is always when you go into the military, don't go get that 15% Mustang or Camaro right off base, because that's the worst thing in the world that anyone could do. And that's always been a joke in the military that everybody knows about. But when you're getting out, before you get out, start thinking about plans. Nowadays, the military is much better at education for transitioning out of the military versus what it used to be. It used to be, it was, here's your DD 214. See you later. Thanks for your service. And now they have a much better program to help as people are transitioning out, helps with their VA benefits, all that good stuff. So it's really great. They've come a long way with that. But at the same time, the financial piece is make sure you find something you like, make sure you're saving some money, make sure you spend within your means, because in the military, I know many people that they spent every penny they had because they're locked into a contract. They're going to keep getting paid, so they don't have to worry about that next paycheck. When you get out, sometimes you do have to worry about that next paycheck. So just try to be smart with your money.
Yeah, especially if you decide to venture into entrepreneurship.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That can be very difficult for your pocketbook.
That is quite different. Yeah. Yeah. So what I found was when I was in the military, I would go from base to base, from office to office, and I would just go in, I'd plug into to an office I was in. I was seeing what everybody else was doing and where the gaps were and what gaps I could fill. And so I just filled those gaps. But there was a group of people that were there and were stable, and everybody was trained in their job and what they had to do. And then when I retired from the Air Force and I decided to go into real estate, and I found that if something needed to be done and I didn't do it, it didn't get done. I was like, oh my gosh. It's not just
Oh
doing my
yeah,
part. I have to do everything now.
yeah, yeah. That's like being a business owner. That's for sure.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, so
You got to do it all.
that was a shock. But yeah, but we're working through it. Yeah, so people who'd like to get involved and to support veterans, how can the local North Texas residents, community, and the businesses get involved and give back?
There's a never-ending supply of organizations out there that need help, whether it be a veterans organization or organizations that help people that are struggling with food or the elderly. Really, all you got to do is want to get out there, find what you're passionate about, whether it be veterans or elderly or children. It's really easy to fill your heart when you go out there and you start helping others. And obviously for me, veterans is my passion. So that's who I do the most work for. And I don't just work with veterans. I'm on the board for the United Way here in Parker County, the chairperson for the North Texas Veterans Business Council. I'm in the Combat Vets Motorcycle Association. I do all these different things, and it's all surrounded around the same thing. It's all about helping. It's getting involved in the community, and there's multiple benefits to it. One, like I said, it can fill your heart to help and give back to others that need help, and because you get to see them happy for receiving that help, whether it be monetary or just you're out there talking to them, lifting their spirits, helping. Like we've just had some recent bad storms, getting out there with storm cleanup. There's lots of ways to do it. And at the same time, you make some really great connections. You never know when that person that you went and helped when they were down, they may be the next millionaire in your community and want to give back to you. And you never expect a return on it, but you still make great connections that can help you down the road, whether it be in business or just in life. All you have to do is just want to. Anybody that wants to can find a way to get out and help.
Yeah, that's great. Where do you see the veteran business community in North Texas heading over the next few years?
One of the reasons we named it the North Texas Veterans Business Council is because we would love to see it grow. We don't want to keep it just to Weatherford, Parker County, the surrounding areas. We'd love to see it grow. We're trying to make sure we do this slow enough to where we can manage it and get all of our resources together. But yes, we'd love to see it grow. We'd love to see it grow all throughout North Texas, whether we branch out and have other branches to it, other local organizations that just kind of can come together on a national resource page or something like that. But we do want to see it grow because if it grows, all it means is we're helping more veterans. So any direction we can go would obviously be great.
Yeah, that's great. What is your final piece of advice for a veteran who's wanting to start their own business?
Do it. If that's your dream, do it. Find a way to do it. Find funding if that's what you need. Find classes to teach you how to do things. But every day that you let it go by is just going to make it harder and harder for you to make that leap to do it. I hear people all the time that everybody that is successful, all they do is say, I wish I would have done it sooner. So that's the thing, is it is scary to take those risks, and you may fail, and that's okay. Even the military has taught you, if you get knocked down, you get back up and you keep moving forward. The same thing with being a business owner or whatever business you're doing. You have to do it. And if you get knocked down, you just get back up and keep going. But you have to take that first step.
So Mark, did you tell me that you have a big event coming up?
Yeah, we do. We've got a big event for the North Texas Veteran Business Council, a fundraising event. It's going to be called Hooves and Highballs. I don't know if you've ever seen the movie 12 Strong, but Will Summers is going to come see us, and he is one of the members of ODA 595 that movie is based on. He's going to come kind of tell us some of his story, tell us a little bit about the difference in the actual movie and what really happened. He is an ambassador for Horse Soldier Bourbon. So we're going to have some whiskey pairings with a 4-course dinner provided by Salt Seafood and Steakhouse here in Weatherford. And we're going to have some live auction stuff, some silent auction stuff, and of course, Will speaking. We're going to have a really good time. We do have tickets on sale that you can find at on our website there at NTXVBC.org. We hope that we get a bunch of people out and come join us and have a great time and help us raise money to help some veterans.
That's great. That sounds like a lot of fun. Yeah. So Mark, this has been very helpful. If people would like to find out more, how can they connect with you?
So just a couple of ways. We've got our North Texas Veteran Business Council webpage, which is NTXVBC. And of course, you can find the North Texas Veteran Business Council on Facebook. And that's another way to reach out to us. You can email me directly, and it would go to my mortgage email. It would be mark@mypurefunding.com. And those are probably the easiest ways to reach us, whether you want to be on the mortgage side or you want to be on the veteran side. I'd love to help either side.
That was great. Thank you. Thank you. And to those listening, if you're planning to buy or sell a home in Wichita Falls, or even just starting to think about it, reach out to me directly. I'll help you understand your options, build a strategy, and connect you with the right people so that you can move forward with confidence. You can contact me through my website at timlockharthomes.com or message me directly. And if you found this episode helpful, make sure you subscribe and share it with someone who could benefit from it. And thanks for listening to The Falls Homefront, where Wichita Falls leads in North Texas real estate, business, and life. Appreciate you tuning in. Want more insider tips on buying, selling, and investing in Wichita Falls and North Texas? Subscribe now and keep watching. Your next move starts here.